Hello and welcome to another edition of Time About the Movies Flashback. Today we're flashing back to February 12th, 1988. We've got 5 films to look at, so let's go ahead and jump on into it. We'll start off with the biggest new releases of the weekend, and that is Sidney Poitier in his first role in 11 years alongside Tom Berenger in Shoot to Kill.
Beautiful hostage. Hot pursuit. Sidney Poitier. Tom Berenger. You were your dad half a second later. Shoot to Kill. Rated R. Start Friday at a theater near you.
Kind of a generic trailer, but despite that genericness of it, this is actually a pretty good movie. This follows an FBI agent pursuing a homicidal extortionist, and when the extortionist kidnaps his fishing guard in the Pacific Northwest, the agent teams up with her partner, a local wilderness guide, to rescue her. Kirstie Alley is also in the movie. She was just joining Cheers around this time, and Clancy Brown is also in the film, and directed by Roger Spottiswoode. And this is a film that you would think would not have been a big hit, but it was a positively reviewed film. It was very highly praised by critics, and it was a big hit at the box office, and yet nobody really ever talks about this movie anymore. And it's a shame, because the movie really is kind of an underrated little gem here. It's got, like I said, Sidney Poitier, Tom Berenger working off each other, a lot of good action sequences overall, very intense, very chilling at times. It is a very underrated little film that not a lot of people really ever hear about, and there's a lot of things about it that are really cool. Some of the action sequences are top-notch. The writing overall is really sharp. It's definitely a film that is very reminiscent of like the buddy cop films from the early days, from like way before Lethal Weapon made it cool again, like stuff like 48 Hours, Lethal Weapon. Before this movie's made it cool. This feels like something out of the 70s, the early 70s, but it was made in 1980. Well, technically 87. It was released in 88, but it was a really good movie. I was actually really surprised at how much I enjoyed it, and it's one I think you should definitely check out. You can find it somewhere. You should easily check it out. Shoot to Kill, really good film. With that said, moving on to the next movie, another fun film, probably not for the same reasons that made Shoot to Kill work. Carl Weathers in Action Jackson.
He's cool. Chill out. But he's hot.
I bet I can make you change your mind.
And if he looks unarmed, look again.
Look for that boy's arm off.
He had a spear. When you're looking for action, the name is Carl Weathers is Action Jackson. And action speaks louder than words. Rated R. Now playing. Check newspapers for theaters and showtimes.
Not as good of a critical success as the Shoot to Kill was, but it's still a fun movie on its own so bad it's good type of levels. You have Carl Weathers coming off of Predator, starring as Jericho Action Jackson, a Detroit police detective investigating a corrupt auto magnate, played by Craig T. Nelson. You also see Sharon Stone in there, Tom Wilson from Back to the Future is in here, and Vanity is also in the film as well. And, this movie is one of those so bad it's good movies. How bad is this movie? There's literally a scene where Carl Weathers is driving a car through a house, and not just through a house, not just going right through the bottom floor. No, that would be too much. That would be simple for this movie. They have to go to extreme levels by having this car somehow going up these steps and going onto the first floor, the top floor of the house. Like, in any reality, that car would have easily crashed down, but not in this movie. No. And they're proud of that too. Like, they set it up in a big way, and if you can't really appreciate the absurdity at that point, then this is a film you might want to steer clear away from. But me personally, I love the hell out of this movie. It is so ridiculous. It is so stupid. It's a so bad it's good movie, and I loved every single moment of it. Just what a great film. A fun, cheesy, late 80s rip-off action movie of the best kind. So bad it's good. I can't recommend it enough. If you love a so bad it's good movie, Action Jackson definitely is the one for you. I highly recommend it. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, and that is Justine Bateman from Family Ties in Satisfaction.
They were hired to play the summer. They're all charmed.
Dude, can't you be subtle?
All wild.
Where's the dip? All the dips are dancing.
All style.
Nice pants.
And all girls. Justine Bateman, Satisfaction.
It's the best.
Rated PG-13. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
So like I said, Justine Bateman from Family Ties, I'm assuming making her leading big screen debut with this film. I mean, this is probably a film trying to cash in on her success from Family Ties. And you have a group of teenagers having a band Mystery with Justine Bateman's Jenny as the lead singer. They go to a bar at the coast and play during the summer. Jenny falls in love with the owner of the bar, Martin. They get an offer to play in Europe and perhaps become famous, but are they ready for it? And Justine Bateman maybe was the biggest star advertised at the time, but let's take a look at who else was in here. Liam Neeson, Trini Alvarado from The Frighteners, Julia Roberts, Deborah Harry. I mean, stacked cast overall in this movie. And I think Jason Bateman, I think actually said about this movie that he admired the courage to have her stand up there and sing, which, he was on the TV show Valerie's Family at the time, and also just made a starring debut in a feature. And he said that you can bet her movie is going to do better than Teen Wolf 2, which, in a way, it kind of did, but not by that much. In fact, just barely, like about $400,000 more. This thing did not do gigantic business at the box office, and you can kind of see why. It does kind of go where you think it's going to go overall, but I think really the only reason to really check this movie out is just to see the early film works of people like Liam Neeson, Trini Alvarado, Julia Roberts, and even Justine Bateman. Nobody in here is really bad in particular. It's just the script overall doesn't really give anybody a chance to really show what they're able to do, because it's a very generic storyline that really does not have a whole lot there to make it stand out. And, I mean, I don't know. I didn't think it was that great overall. I mean, it's cool to see some of these early stars these big stars in their early roles, but I don't think it really saves the movie overall when it's all said and done. I mean, that's just my take on it, but let's get to the actual good stuff this weekend. Let's get to our next movie, and that is Spike Lee's School Daze.
It's irreverent, juicy.
Can I help you, please?
It's cheeky. It's fresh and sassy.
Is this some type of a joke?
Don't get nasty.
Can I help you, please?
It's 2 thumbs up for Spike Lee's School Day.
It's funny, we were just talking about Action Jackson, but the funny thing is that Spike Lee actually had a little bit of a controversy with that movie coming out on the same weekend as this. Spike Lee had said that nearly had his limited release pushed back by Columbia to avoid perceived competition from Weathers from the attention of the African American public. Although Lee scoffed at that notion that the black audience had such uniform taste and won. I just thought that was kind of amusing that it's actually listed on the Wikipedia page for Action Jackson. I'm not making this up either. Like, I thought that was kind of amusing. That wasn't even really Spike Lee's fault in general. That was on the studio, that Columbia Pictures at the time. Which this was still during the David Putnam era, too. This was around that time when he was focusing more on smaller independent movies than actual blockbusters, which meant that the Ghostbusters sequel that they were working on, the sequel that they were going to do, which eventually became Ghostbusters 2, had to be delayed for so long. But I digress. In this film, you have Vaughn Dunlap, played by Larry Fishburne, who's a politically conscious black American student at Mission College, a leading historically black college in Atlanta, Georgia, whose motto is Uplift the Race. The college administration is portrayed as inept. Dunlap leads anti-apartheid demonstrations, encouraging students and school administrations to divest from South Africa. When his buddies go into town, they find the local boys are not impressed with the activities, but think of them as privileged college boys. Open conflicts break out between the groups, and Dunlap feuds with Juliana Eves, played by Giancarlo Esposito, a.k.a. Dean Big Brother Almighty of Gamma Phi Gamma Fraternity Incorporated. The group is characterized as wannabes and a wannabe better than me. The fraternity brothers are preparing for a big college football weekend and homecoming parties. Meanwhile, Dap's younger cousin, played by Spike Lee, a.k.a. Half Pint, is a Gamma Pledge. The Gamma's women's auxiliary, the Gamma Rays, who are sleek and light-skinned, confront non-Greek black co-eds, particularly over skin color and the nature of their hair. Some of the Rays use contact lenses to change eye color. And this was the last big movie that came out before Spike Lee broke out the following year, of course, with Do the Right Thing. And there's definitely a lot of Spike Lee's style of filmmaking in here that works really well. It is definitely one of his lesser good films, but nowhere near as bad as some of his really bad stuff like Girl 6 and and what's another one? I can't think of another one, but Girl 6, I think, was one of those ones that was definitely one of his worst movies in general. But we'll delve more into those as we move along here. But got a great cast overall here. Lawrence Fishburne's great. Giancarlo Esposito giving a great performance. Great ensemble. Tisha Campbell, Ossie Davis, Bill Nunn, Joe Seneca, Kadima Hardison, Jasmine Guy, a young Samuel L. Jackson. Solid writing, great direction by Spike Lee. It's pretty much everything you can ask for and then some from Spike Lee. It doesn't rank up there with some of his best movies in general, but it definitely shows what was about to become of him, starting with Do the Right Thing and going forward. I mean, this is definitely, for what you get here, it's a fun, enjoyable, and informative film with a great cast, great writing, great direction. Doesn't quite live up to Spike Lee's other works. It's the weaker of his good stuff, but nowhere near as bad as some of his worst stuff in general. So yeah, and it's easily the best movie released this weekend too. I guess that makes sense. But with that said, let's go ahead and move on to our last movie here, and that is the re-release of the 1962 thriller, The Manchurian Candidate. So just go to Wikipedia and just look up the plot synopsis. That's what I'm doing. But no, this is, of course, the 1962 political thriller produced and directed by John Frankenheimer. The story of this is that it centers around a Korean War veteran named Raymond Shaw, who's played by Lawrence Harvey. Part of a prominent political family, Shaw is brainwashed by communists after his army platoon is captured. He returns to civilian life in the United States, where he becomes an unwitting assassin in an international communist conspiracy. The group, which includes representatives of the People's Republic of China, the Soviet Union, plan to assassinate the presidential nominee of an American political party, with the death leading to the overthrow of the U.S. government. And Frank Sinatra plays a Major Bennett Marco, who has to figure out what's going on here. And this is going to later be remade with Denzel Washington and Lee Schreiber and Meryl Streep in 2004, which actually I'm doing on Time About the Movies as we're doing this, so we're going to get to that one as we move along in the summer, in the year of 2004. But classic film, really intense film overall, a strong cast. It also includes Janet Leigh, Henry Silva, James Gregory, a very intense film. Keep in mind, this was released around the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis, too. And it was well received all around. Angela Lansbury got nominated for an Academy Award for this. It was nominated for Best Editing. It's a really intense film, really good political thriller. You really have no idea where it's going to go. And that's the great thing about it. That's when you know you made a great political thriller, when you have no idea what the hell's about to happen, and you just go on along for it, wanting to see what's going to happen next. Great performances all around. Sinatra's great in here. Lawrence Harvey, Angela Lansbury, like I said. Really fantastic cast, really engaging storyline, just an incredible film. Would have been interested to see what this would have been like on the big screen overall, but really great film. Can't recommend it enough. The Manchurian Candidate. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies Flashback. We'll flash back to the beginning of the month of February '88 with 3 films, including Wes Craven's The Serpent and the Rainbow with Bill Pullman, Kevin Bacon and Elizabeth McGovern starring in John Hughes' She's Having a Baby, and also The Unbearable Lightness of Being. So we'll take a look at those 3 films on the next episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the place on the next page. Check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I'm off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.